Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream Park, and welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti, along with Acacia Courtney, and another Chamber of Commerce Day here in South Florida. We got a fast main track, firm turf course today. 11 races this afternoon. Our special Saturday post of 12:45 Acacia, and a little bit of a carryover a little later on in the Rainbow Six.
Yeah, just a little bit, just about $4,000. It was hit the other day, so started putting money back into it yesterday. But as Ron said, you have 11 races today, so Rainbow Six will start a little bit later on, just a 20-cent wager, and I'm sure it'll start to build up again, and really good wagering options to get in on.
Yeah, in addition to that, we have the rolling super high fives throughout the afternoon with any race with 7 or more participants in it. And then we go, and we also have the first of 2 pick fives in the afternoon, starting in race number 1. And Acacia has a ticket she'll be showing you. And that Rainbow Six, Acacia, starts in race number 6 today.
It does. The carryover is, as I mentioned, just over $4,000, $4,464 to be exact. Starts in race number 6, races 6 through 11.
Yeah, we end the day with Acacia's final pick 5 ticket, and that's the last 5 races on the card, and a great wager, only a 50-cent play. So a good way to have some action, and you don't really have to go and break the bank to get it done. Now, with all of that taken care of, our first race on Saturday afternoon is going to be a mile and a 16th on the turf. These are claimers, 3 and up, non-winners of 3 races in life for 3-year-olds, and we have no scratches or jockey changes in here, and we're going to show you Acacia's early pick 5 ticket.
Yeah, couldn't find a single today in the early half of the card. Actually couldn't find a single in my late pick 5 either. I thought a lot of these races, the horses were pretty evenly matched. The one horse that I did consider singling was in race number 2, actually, with Take Time to Pray. I ended up going 3 deep in that race because I just thought if Take Time to Pray doesn't win, it makes it a little bit more open in that race. And so 2, 3, 2, 3, and 2 for $36. So still try to keep it affordable.
Yeah, and it's a good way to start it with the logical, I think, 2 horses in the opening race, and one of those being the number 5, Unspoken Quality, who we both have on top of the ticket. And this one was a sharp, a $10,000 2-lifetime claimer winner back in August 20. Now going to drop today.
Dropping in class and stretching out a bit in distance, going from the 7.5 furlongs last couple races out to the mile and a 16th. Does have a win at this distance, but I thought last time out it looked like needed a little bit more distance. I want to go back and show that race from his race on September 4th, and this is when he was running the 7.5 furlongs. This was against $30,000 claimers, so taking a big drop. You see the number 9 there, Unspoken Quality, really wide and made up a lot of ground, was very far back at the start of this race. And as he's coming around, you see he's moving there. You can follow the blue colors and the blue saddle cloth on the outside. Again, had to make up just a ton of ground here and just missed. Ended up finishing 3rd by a length and a half there behind a couple other solid horses. And as I said, it looked like he just needed a little bit more distance. You see now they're coming out of the turn. He's wide again, about 4 wide here. It looks like he's not even going to get close. Manages to make it. He was a pretty clear 3rd here this day, but maybe if he had had a little bit more ground, he would have been able to get the job done.
Yeah, it was a really nice performance, and he was asked a lot to do. And if you go back 2 starts, the one I was telling you about, that victory, who was aboard that day? Edgar Zayas, and Edgar Zayas jumping back aboard this afternoon. So lots to like about the number 5, Unspoken Quality. I went to the inside with my second horse. That's the 1, Starship Frontier, stretching out to a mile and a 16th after stalking, I thought, glib early fractions of 21 and 4, 43 and 4 when finishing a game 4th against this caliber competition. That was going 5/8 of a mile. Excuse me. He should be a major part of the pace scenario today.
Absolutely, especially breaking from the rail today, and this one stretching out in distance big time too. Most recent start was at 5 furlongs, so going up to the mile and a 16th once again today, and does have a little bit of what to say in the pace as well. And I used him in 3rd. I put the number 6, To Your Health, in 2nd, who's coming off a victory as the favorite last time out against $10,000 claimers, non-winners of 2. So next logical spot here. Miguel Vasquez is going to be aboard. So I don't know about this one looking to repeat, but I think that this is one that you have to have on the ticket. I really do think Unspoken Quality is going to be tough to beat in this spot, but this one was a $260,000 on to tap it.
Well, if someone goes up and challenges Starship Frontier, who you would think was going to be on the lead after tracking those factions last time out, it made set up perfectly for a horse like number 6, To Your Health, who's going to sit that trip right behind the speed this afternoon. We both closed it out with the number 2 horse in here, and for our super effective play, and that's Run Saichi.
Yeah, I just think he's a logical one to have on there in the Superfecta wagering. Another one stretching out to the mile and the 16th once again.
Let's go to race number 2. This one is a 6-furlong sprint. Claim is 3 and up. They're going to run for that $6,250 tag, and 7 runners in the field. And as we get through the card, we'll be giving you scratches. There's only 2 on the card, so I just wanted to let you know. So I'm not going to keep saying no scratches in this race, because the ones that there are scratches, I'll say something. Now, the logical horse we both have on top, we're in agreement with our trifecta here, is Take Time to Pray, who's going to try this $6,250 open competition. This one went up and set some pretty good fractions, too, of 22-1, 44-3. He got nabbed late when finishing second. That was a 10 optional claimer at this same 6-furlong distance.
This is a fast horse, and he's able to maintain that speed a couple starts back before being claimed and moving over into the Gilberto Zerpa barn. He actually went up and set the pace. This was back in May. He won by 11 lengths that day, and that was his most recent victory. He was very well beaten in the next start. I think he was just running, I don't know if it was against some tougher horses. It was his first time stepping up to the $10,000 optional claiming level. He's going to drop back down to this class. He's got that speed. As I said, he was the one that I almost singled. Emisel Jaramillo is going to stay aboard, and he rode him to that second place finish last time. I want to give you a stat. When Emisel Jaramillo and Gilberto Zerpa team up together, that trainer-jockey combination at Gulfstream Park in the past year, they've been very solid. 9 for 20, 45% win, 70% of the time in the money, and a positive ROI of 258. So this is definitely the horse to beat.
Yeah, and always one of those good stats you want to look at. You see, jockey and a trainer doing well together, and that one sort of jumps out off the page at you, and that is on the number 2, Take Time to Pray. Now, we both used the 6-point made. Drop into this level today, track the pace, finish 4th. There was a 25 condition claimer at the 6-furlong distance. Angel Medina, apprentice Alvaro Donis in the saddle this afternoon, handling that class reef. Looks like a spot where this horse can run well.
I think so too. This most recent start was a little bit disappointing, but that was against $25,000 claimers, so he's taking a big drop today, and it's off of that. He's just going to be running in such easier competition today, and it's all about finding that spot. That's why he was one that I was nervous of.
Well, we have a stamp here on our top 3. Also, he's the 4 flashing cat.
This one dropped to this level last time out and finished third, beating about 4 1/4 lengths. Lionel Reyes is going to be aboard once again, and just a pretty consistent horse.
Yeah, and if you look back to July 30th, won at this 6-furlong distance, so I think he's a logical contender. But it looks like the speed of the speed, as they say, is going to be with number 2, Take Time to Pray. So now we're going to flip the page and go back to the turf course for race number 3. This is 7.5 furlongs on the turf, maiden claiming 2-year-olds. They run for a $25,000 tag. I'll start it off in here with the number 3, a horse you did use on your ticket in second, and that is Cousin Tino. Now, this is a son of Letinora, and that horse is by Dynaforma. So right away, that's what piqued my interest in there. Finds an ideal spot to start his career. Larry Pilati does an excellent job with first-time starters. Lasix, Eddie Castro named to ride, and this is strictly a breeding play on my heart. I saw Dynaforma in the line, and I said I'm going to put this one on top.
All the reasons I had him on there. I landed on the number 2, Spinos, on top. He has the experience before. He's by Crown of Thorns, a relatively new sire. He's for 12-year-olds. He's 4 for 12 with 2-year-olds on the turf, so pretty solid numbers. This horse just didn't do any running in his first start. He was really sluggish coming out of the gate, didn't really rally there. I'm hoping he gets out a little bit cleaner this time. I liked his work tab a bit better, and I liked that he had the experience. Also trying the turf for the first time. Marcos Meneste is going to be in the saddle. He showed his riding ability yesterday where he won the race with broken reins, so I like that as well. And I just think that this is a horse, and he's 6-1 on the morning line, but I like that experience again.
Yeah, I think he was holding on to the strap of the Shadow Roll or something like that, right?
Yeah, it looked like he was holding on to the mane as well. Yeah.
So number 7, Bodie Dog, the one we both use in here, is dropping to this level today, stretching out around 2 turns after tracking the pace and finishing an even 6, 5-furlong turf debut. That was at the $25,000 level. It's Ronnie Spatz, Miguel Vasquez handling the 7.5 furlong distance. So stretching out should be, maybe a little more prominently placed this afternoon.
Has one run on turf already. A couple of siblings that have won on the turf too.
Well, let's go to race number 4 this afternoon. This one, 7 furlongs, maiden claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, $10,000, 6 runners in the field. Now, if you want to picture a word that, a single word that describes this race, that's wide open. I mean, it's hard to really
I think
find
that's 2 words.
Hyphenated word. Always counting. She's always counting. How did you see this race here? Number 4.
Well, I landed on the number 4, Island Lights. And this one, it's just hard with this race. You talk about wide open. Sometimes you have horses that have just all run pretty well, and you can't decipher which one. This race, these horses have not run pretty well just yet, so it's hard to decipher it, but somebody's got to win here, and I think that the number 4, Island Lights, is certainly eligible to improve. Very well beaten last time. 2 back, actually finished second. It was a very distant second behind Luna Lunita. Was beaten about 18 and a half lengths, but kind of best of the rest there. It's a little bit off of that performance, and respect for the connection.
Yeah, and I am in total agreement with you with that, second place finish. So I went with the 5-2 start, turning back to 7/8 today in the main track. He dual for lead. He faded to finish 6th, but it was on the, test 2 turns on the turf. Maybe the turf to dirt will work it up. Just want to show you a stat real quickly on the number 6 horse in your first punch. Wheeling back today at the same level and distance. He showed some improved speed before weakening, but I found this intriguing here. The trainer, Alfred McIntosh, with horses coming back after a 31 to 60-day freshening in the low-level claiming ranks, he's 5 for 22. That's 23%. 55% in the money, but with a $7 ROI. So one of those horses in that mix probably paid $1 quadrillion, is the way I look at it.
Give or take a few.
Yeah. So that is race 4 and wide open. And when you're putting your early pick 5 ticket together, if you find a single early on, which we weren't able to, you might want to go deeper in that race because it is a wide open affair.
It is.
Now, race number 5, back on the turf, 7.5 furlongs. Maiden claim is 3 and up, $12,500. We'll have 8 runners going to the post in here. Acacia, you went with the number 6 horse in here, and that's Best Concert.
Well, this one's cutting back in distance again to the 7.5 furlongs. Tried the mile and a 16th last time out, and 2 back at the mile, which is very close to 7.5. The 2 turns again. Finished a really respectable second. Ryan Gazziter is going to be aboard once again, and this is another race where a lot of these horses haven't been able to get to the winner's circle yet, and I looked through each of them and kind of did process of elimination in this spot, and this is the one that I just thought on the cutback might have the best chance to make it to the winner's circle.
Yeah, and he finished second in front of Times of the Essence, so going a mile on July 4th and 3rd, going a mile on the 16th. With that said, I did put the 3 Times the Essence on top, turning back to 7.5, made that middle move, weakened late, finished 5th. It was against similar, it was going a mile in the 16th. Manny Estevez, Edgar Zayas in the saddle. I just thought the turn back, for this race, another wide open affair, might be the right move for this horse. Now, you went with the 5 horse strategy in second.
I did. This one's now second off of a big layoff of more than 16 months. Tried the turf going a mile and a 16th off of that layoff from April of 2015 to August of 2016. Didn't do any running that day, but showed a little bit of early pace. So ran a little bit at the start of the race and totally faded, but might have just needed one, cutting back in distance a bit. Kathleen O'Connell, the trainer.
Number 2, Traffic Express is the morning line favorite. Should take the bulk of the betting action in here after rallying to finish second at this level of distance. But the 0 for 16 record is obvious concern for everyone. So 16 starts, no wins, 4 seconds, 2/3. So another wide open affair for race number 5. We are going to take a short break. When we come back for race number 6, I'll show you my Rainbow 6 ticket, and we'll look at the rest of the Saturday card.
Next January, 12 horses, $1 million buy-in for a $12 million purse. It is the world's richest race. It is the Pegasus World Cup.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today and Gulfstream Park. Ron and Acacia trying to give you some useful insights on the Saturday card, fast main track, firm turf course. And we have an 11 race card today, so that means the Rainbow Six starts in race number 6. This one is a 5.5 furlong maiden claiming event, fillies 2-year-olds. And we do have a scratch in here, number 3, Adios Cat. And I got these directly from Bill Badgett today. And so I know that these are scratches. I actually screwed it up. That's a little bit of a private joke in here. Let's show you my Rainbow Six ticket. There you see 2 deep, a single in today in race number 7, Dave Hoyt. I'm going to single that horse. I just think he's the logical one on the drop in there. And I wanted to go deeper, as you mentioned, wide open affair, I think, the rest of the card. So 3, 4, 3, and 3. But my whole day is going to be on the number 8 horse, Dave Hoyt, in race number 7 this afternoon. But the 6th race looks like a horse that's going to take a lot of money in here is the number 2, Tanya's Pride. Back at the same level and distance, looking to improve on that debut second place finish.
I want to go back and show that debut. I think it was just an educational performance more than anything. Luca Panici rode her that day. You see, she's the number 3. We're going to show the head-on of the break just to see how she moves. See, she veers a little bit, but a little bit of bumping ever so slightly. She drifts in a bit. You see, there's a bunch of other stuff going on behind. So just to show how she was pretty professional in her debut. She's now there. She's the number 3. She's sitting nicely, got a little bit of dirt, running behind horses. She ended up finishing 2nd. She was beaten about 4 3/4 lengths by Israel's Dream. You see, she's moving nicely along the rail now. That was start number 6 for Israel's Dream. Israel's Dream have been trying to find the winner's circle, a lot more experience. She went and was way ahead of the rest of the field, but I thought that Tanya's Pride ran very solidly, all things considered, and especially compared to the other 2-year-olds that she ran against. Again, just an educational and rather professional debut.
Yeah, and that was a 1-5 favorite on the front, too, at those 6 starts. So, you know, the run in there, and I'm in total agreement with David Fawkes, Luca Panici, and then I went to the 7 and sort of the case you with If I Can Dream, who's dropping to this level on the main track after stalking the pace and finishing 5th. That was a $35,000 maiden test, and it was going 1 mile on the turf. So lots of changes for this horse today, going to the main track, cutting back to a sprint distance.
Didn't seem to really like the turf that much and hasn't shown much on the dirt, but going to be a lot lower in class now compared to the other 2 races on the dirt that she's running.
And we both used the number 8 horse in 3rd, and that's Anna Her Highness.
This one coming back in about 9 days for Antonio Sano, another one that tried the turf, a couple starts on the dirt, and last 2 starts were at this level, and I think just might improve in this field to hit the board.
Yeah, and I just think the race runs through number 2, Tanya's Pride. I think she's going to jump forward today. Like you said, a professional debut. Now, race number 7 today is 1 mile and 1/16 on the turf. Claim is 3 and up. These are a $10,000 tag and scratch to Ford Talbot County. And as you saw, my Rainbow Six ticket, I single in here. And now I'm interested to see Acacia's pick 5 ticket if she even used the 8, because most times if I single something, she doesn't even use it.
I did. I went 4 deep in this race, in the race that you singled. At least I actually used it today. We were somewhat in agreement. $48 for my late pick 5 ticket. The horse that I considered singling came in race number 9 with the 2 bygone days. I think that she should win that race, but I ended up throwing on the number 10, the Speed, made on a mission from the outside in that one. So wasn't able to find a single, so $48 still kept it affordable.
Well, let me tell you about Dave Hoyt, why I like this horse today. And I wanted to get that single, as I said, because I find the rest of the card being really challenging. Dave Hoyt is dropping to the $10,000 level, facing considerably tougher, I thought, with some success throughout the summer. The Colt defeated $16,000 claimers in back-to-back races, then was second to a repeat winner. Metaphorically, he's been running well all summer. That was 2 starts back, and was 5th behind Grade 3 stakes placed Amigo last time out. Amigo won the grade 3 stakes place, last year, but still a good company. Drop it to the $10,000 level. I think this is the spot this horse has got to win.
Yeah, I think so too, and for all of those reasons that you mentioned, he really looks to be the one to beat in this race. That being said, I thought there were a couple other horses that were pretty solid in this field. This is not a race where it's like you have no options. You do have a few options in here. I can understand you singling this horse. I went with the number 1, Dreams Cut Short, in 2nd, who was 3rd last time out, beaten about a length and 3/4, but kind of flattened out a little bit, was a little bit further back than usual. Had 2 wins in a row prior to that, one on a firm turf and one on a good turf, so he was in very good form. Since coming over to Gulfstream, he's had 4 races, 2/3 and 2 wins. He's done nothing wrong so far.
Yeah, and Alan Hunter been watching all the horses that they shipped down from Pimlico or wherever they've come in and have run exceptionally well. Got their go-to jock, Matthew Rispoli, in the saddle today. And absolutely, I mean, I singled to keep my ticket affordable, to show the folks out here, and Dave Hood, excuse me, is where I went. But I'm in agreement. I think if you have the chance, you go deeper in here. I used the number 3 horse, Pickett's Corner, in third. And I'll tell you why. This one was second to Dreams Cut Short, going a mile back on July 28th. So I figure if you like that one, maybe use this one on the ticket. Stretching out, parlayed a strong late rally into a victory over Symbol, going 7.5. 3-time winner at the distance. Sits the trip behind the speed today.
Yeah, well, I think if you like Dreams Cut Short, you also have to like the 7 Storm Warnings, who was second last time out when moving over to the turf. It was really interesting. This horse won by 5 lengths, 2 back on the dirt. They ran him on the turf immediately next time out. And that's always kind of fascinating to me when a horse wins that impressively on the dirt, and then you switch surfaces right away. He ran very well on the turf, too, for his first time in a while. He was only beaten by 2 lengths behind Dreams Cut Short in that race. So I think it's kind of the same thing what you're saying. If you like one, kind of have to give a little bit of a second look to the other.
Yeah, you know, most times when horses win and they win on the dirt, people say, well, let's try it on the turf. Maybe we got a turf horse and a dirt horse. The other way doesn't happen too often. And like you said, comes off that, you know, going back to the turf today. So always interesting why they do something like that. Now let's go to race number 8 this afternoon, and this one is a 6-furlong maiden claiming fillies, 2-year-olds, $25,000. 7 will go to the post in race number 8, and we both put the number 2 horse in here, Poopsie Doopsie, on top of the ticket. Quite a name.
Well, this one is a half to another one of your favorite names, our good friend, stakes winner, Lil Meatball. And so there's some interesting breeding there, dropping down into claiming company for the first time.
Yeah, and I mean, he was dropping, as you said, to the 25 level. Respectable outings under maiden special weight conditions, including the improved 4th place finish, going 5.5 furlongs in her last race. Trainer Dave Brady, you know, a limited sampling here with courses making similar class drops is about 27%. And Dave Brady sitting on 998 victories, just 2 more to get to that magical $1,000 mark. Poopsie Doopsie on top of my ticket. Every time I say it, I don't want to say it. So Poopsie Doopsie is the name of the horse. We'll see how it goes. Now, we used the number 5, which I did not use on my ticket, and that's Bossy Alexandra.
Well, this one's dropping to claiming company as well, and I just think it hasn't really shown much in any of her starts so far, save the very first one, which was on a good dirt course. That was back at the end of July. Finished 3rd behind a repeat winner. It was, yes, a well-beaten 3rd, but finished pretty solidly in that one, and now taking such a big drop to the claiming ranks again too. And a pretty fast work, which you don't often see from the Gennady Dorochenko barn. On July 17th, this was a few back, 48-3. So you know that there's a little bit of run there. That was, yes, a little while ago, but you know that there's some speed available for this horse. And I just think in this spot, it's one that you'll need to use.
Yeah, I tried to make a case, and I just couldn't do it for that horse. So I'm going to watch this time around. But you made a great point. Number 3, Heaven's Door, is stretching out to 3/4 of a mile. He recovered from a slow start. He finished 6th. She finished 6th in her 5.5 furlong debut at the $25,000 level. Now you look at the trainer, Kathleen O'Connell, ready for his assignment. A 5-furlong gate work, over at Gulfstream Park West. 102.3 is a solid move across down on that deeper surface. Kathleen O'Connell, you got to respect her. Put her on your ticket, which of course you did. And I think this horse can jump up and run very well in the spot.
And I think that she'll be a little bit more forwardly placed than she was last time as well. And she managed to make up a bit of ground. She finished behind Israel's Dream, who was second in that one, came back to win next time out. We just watched that race earlier. I was just talking about that horse. So behind a good horse who won is the favorite.
Yeah, and we both used Little United somewhere in the tickets. A daughter of Productive Sire, High Cotton, debuting for Carlo Vaccarezza. Solid morning work tab showing up at Palm Meadows. Lasix, MCL Jaramillo in the saddle. So a horse you might want to give a second look to and throw somewhere on your rolling super high 5 ticket exact or trifecta. All those fun exotic wagers. The 9th race this afternoon. It's 1 mile on the turf. It's an allowance optional claimer. Fillies and mares 3 and up. They could run for that optional claiming price of $25,000. Nice betting race. We've got 10 runners in this field, but we both put the number 2, Bygone Days, who's a $110,000 daughter of Old Fashioned, on top of her ticket.
Well, this is the one that I said I considered singling in my late pick 5. I thought that she should win this race. She is coming off of a little bit of a freshening. Last start was on July 22nd. She's had 3 starts so far. The only bad one was on the dirt in her debut. She came back her very first turf race, which was on a good turf. There was a bit of give that day, but she won by 6 1/4 and then finished a very good second behind a really nice runner named Determined Lady.
Yeah, and we'll go back and show you that performance of her, the stretch run of that.
Yes, we will. We'll go back and show you that race. And this was, again, back on July 21st. And show you the stretch run. She gets a little bit weary in that one. And, yes, it's a mile and a 16th. She's going to get just a little bit of distance there. You see she's the number 6. It kind of looks like she's getting tired. She drifts a little bit away from the rail. As I said, Determined Lady, a really nice runner there on the outside. She gets the win that day. And I just think she got tired a bit with the mile and a 16th, so the mile should suit her.
Yeah, and I mean, both those races were very promising, and I think the cutback's going to really help for that horse today. And that stalking style, too, is going to be good for this race in here. I used the number 6, Sweet Story, in second. I'll tell you why. Stretching out to a mile after, I thought, a visually impressive score when she split horses in the stretch to defeat 12-5 state-bred optional claimers going 7.5 furlongs. Kathy Roundtree has apprentice Carlos Hernandez named to ride. I just like the way this horse won last time out. So I went back. I don't know what it is on the morning line, 9-2. So third choice on the morning line. I just like the way the horse ran.
Yeah. The thing that bothered me about this horse was all the in-the-money performances prior to that. But I can agree with you that the last win was impressive for sure. I used the 10 made on a mission. As I mentioned, also put this one on my late pick 5 ticket. Has some speed coming from the outside. Now third off a layoff. Ran in September. Took about 10 months off. Wasn't seen again until July. Finished an okay 4th and then won nicely last time out for Peter Walder.
I think it's one of the better betting races on the card this afternoon. Race number 10 is a 6 furlong claimer, 3 and up, non-winners of 2 live, $6,250. 8 runners will go to the post in here, and both of us with number 8, Gasolina, who's 2 for 3 in the money on the fast track.
2 for 3 in the money, and also dropping in class here. Pretty big drop in class, actually. Last ran against $16,000 non-winners of 2, and now going to the $6,250 level. Also moving from the turf to the dirt. So I want to go back and show the most recent start for this horse. Yes, it's on the turf, but just interesting to see the running style of this one. This is number 2 that day. Gasolina gets brushed a little bit at the start. You see, gets shuffled back there. Normally has a bit more speed, and I think that that'll be key for this horse here. Still managed to make up a bit of ground. Last 2 starts were a little bit rough for this one. Again, had some excuses there. Now trying the dirt once again.
Yeah, I want to show you a stat on that horse. So over the last 5 years, the trainer, Efren Loza Jr., does a fantastic job here. Pretty small stat, but a really telling stat. 61 to 180 days, turf to dirt, which this horse is doing. Off that to 61 to 180 day layoff, 4 for 6, 67% win average, 83% in the money with a $5.23 ROI. So a limited sampling, but boy, it looks like this barn knows how to make that the move from turf to dirt.
Yeah, if you only do it a few times, we have a lot of success with it. That's definitely worth noting, too. I thought the 3 Alicar Flash was interesting. Won nicely last time out, but that was more than 7 months ago.
Yeah, and I thought there was a logical horse. And Peter Walder's been winning races in bunches over the last few days. And then I used what you did, too, the 5 Midnight Surfer. Drop it to the $6,250 level after shipping in from Pimlico. This sounds familiar. We just talked about it. After showing some early interest, fading, got beat double-digit lengths, but it was a 12-5-2 lifetime claimer. The barn has been very strong, as we mentioned, locally, with horses making their second start back from this type of layoff. They are batting around 29% or 30%. So these horses that have run at Pimlico have come here for these connections, have run exceptionally well. And on the board right now is the third choice. I mean, on the morning line is the third choice.
And a $200,000 purchase by Escandrea. So they spent quite a bit of money on this horse. Definitely had some high intentions and high hopes for it.
You can get it for $6,250. $1,000 this afternoon. Race number 11. And this one, 5 furlongs on the turf, maiden special weight, fillies, 2-year-olds. And boy, there was a race that went all around the country after this performance. And we're talking about the 6 Fallen Leaf. So let's go back and show you this horse's stretch run last time out. It was quite a performance. And there you'll see Fallen Leaf making a move. Now, this you're saying it's over here, right here, right? But, you know, we're going to let Pete Aiello take it over and see how this race pans out after
Inside the
I think
final
you said it
furlong,
best.
Fallen Leaf. Fallen Leaf is sharp in victory. No antics of any kind except speed, and there we go with the antics.
Yeah, I mean, there was the feet, you know, you
That's a
just,
tough feat.
yeah, I mean, but I want to tell you, both the horse and the jockey were
Yes.
fine. We wouldn't be laughing. I mean, absolutely fine. The horse shied from the whip in that day, and it just went viral all around the country. They had it as the beat of the week. Of course, if you heard Pete in there, he's just saying it looks like the horse is cruising to victory. Shied from the whip, did not get hit, just shied from the whip and took a little jump inside.
One of the keys today, and I think a big reason that both of us have this horse on top, is that she's going to have blinkers on for the first day.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. And Josie Gomez will be in the saddle today, so we're giving her a chance back. I went with the number 8 and 2nd, and that's Freckled Bird, is a daughter of Mineshaft, debuting for trainer Wesley Ward. 4 local workouts showing, including a recent Bullet Gate work. It was 35 and 4. There wasn't a lot of horses that worked that day out of the gate, but it was still a good move. You know, Wesley Ward always dangerous with first-time starters, Lasix and MSCL Jaramillo.
Well, I use the number 7, My Sister's Ledge. Kind of interesting that you didn't use this horse at all. Dropping in distance now, and also coming off of, I thought, a very solid debut, sprinting. Debuted going 5 furlongs in special weight company with Marcos Meneses, was beaten only by 2 1/4 lengths to finish 3rd when stretching out to the mile. Finished pretty poorly that day when being bumped at the start, but I think off the cutback, certainly eligible to improve.
Well, you know, the number 2, Ivy Lovely, is a half-sister to Grade 3 Tropical Turf Handicap Stakes-placed Amigo. You heard mention that horse today. Debuts for trainer Ronnie Werner. Now, they're not usually known for, you know, winning first time out the barn, but I just thought this horse has a series of stamina-enhancing 5 furlong workouts. Love the breeding on the horse, and maybe this is the day that this horse finds a perfect spot to make the debut.
Right, and out of Grade 3 winner Dat You Ms. Blue as well, and some pretty solid works on the tab, so we'll see how Ivy Lovely debuts.
Well, we're about to turn it over to Chris Griffin, our guest announcer this weekend, and he's going to give you all the updated scratches and changes. Then we're coming back, right?
We'll be back in a little bit.
What do I love about horse racing?